throughout this episode I'm kind of thinking, alright, this race of, and one more time, wouldn't be an episode without this. Please excuse the noise outside the studio. Right, that just derailed my entire train of thought right there. Hey guys, welcome along to Here's Rodder's Reviews, the show that loves all things entertainment, shares that love with you. I'm your host, Rodney Stewart. We're getting on some 80s cartoon action once again here with Transformers Season 2. This is the episode Atlantis Arise, and it says it all in the title, really. At the beginning of the episode, Soundwave has discovered something below the ocean, on the ocean bed, and this episode, interestingly, is the only one I can recall that has Buzzsaw in it, who is the twin, the Laserbeak. Could be completely wrong about that. It's been quite a while since I actually sat and watched this season, and completely. I was going to say incompleteness, but is that a word? I don't think so. Anyway, Soundwave reports to Megatron. Megatron, of course, is, this is going to be a new source of energy for us. So him, Decepticons, go off to the ocean bed, find Sub-Atlantica, as it's known in this cartoon, and the king of Sub-Atlantica, Nergal, King Nergal, attacks the Decepticons quite easily, overpowers Starscream. There's a huge energy dome protecting the city, but Megatron is able to negotiate a peace between him and the Sub-Atlanticans, and they join forces at the beginning and start creating energon cubes, and Megatron is like, using our technology we can bring Sub-Atlantica back to the surface and we can rule the earth together. But the whole time King Nergal is plotting against Megatron. Of course, eventually the Autobots get in the action, and Sub-Atlantica does rise, and the Sub-Atlanticans and the Decepticons attack Washington DC, and put their big energy dome over the top of Washington DC. And yes, Starscream has discovered Nergal's plan to turn against the Decepticons. So there's great hand-to-hand combat in this episode, which I like to see in these cartoons. Like, it's one thing for like a fight to kick off and a lot of laser action going on, shooting each other, ducking behind things, shooting back, but this one here has got great hand-to-hand combat in it, which I really enjoyed. Nergal has created a weapon called a magnetic dysfunction ray that he had tested out on a captured wheeljack earlier in the episode, and he's using this weapon against the Autobots, taking them all down. The Autobots call for the Dinobots to come save them, and there's a lot of good banter between Optimus Prime and Grimlock in this episode, and a lot of hand-to-hand combat between Megatron and Grimlock. By the end of the episode, and this is one thing I do like about 80s cartoons, they do not shy away whatsoever from a dark storyline. Throughout this episode I'm kind of thinking, alright, this race of, and one more time, wouldn't be an episode without this. Please excuse the noise outside the studio. Right, that just derailed my entire train of thought right there. Yes, 80s cartoons, they don't shy away from a dark storyline, and this one, I was thinking the whole way through this episode, we have a new race of characters introduced in this episode. The Sub-Atlanticans from Sub-Atlantica that can quite easily defeat both the Autobots and the Decepticons, basically. By the end of the episode, Nergal's weapon gets destroyed. His plans to turn against the Decepticons are outed, and Sub-Atlantica is the scene for the final fight, and the Autobots attack. The Decepticons are in the city. Megatron, King Nergal, at this point, they're still kind of in league with each other, although Megatron has outed, or Starscream, sorry, has outed the plans that Nergal was going to turn against them. But as I say, dark storyline. The end of this episode was, and I thought they weren't going to do it. Nergal decides, right, the attack is happening on his city, Sub-Atlantica, and the Dinobots are there. They're taking out skyscrapers left, right, and centre. There's a lot of explosions. You know, it's typical Autobots fighting Decepticons, and just there's no holds barred in this fight. And things are getting destroyed. Nergal decides he's going to blow up his power reserves within the city. He's like, you know, I would sooner destroy this city than see these people or these Transformers destroying it. So he heads for the core, followed by Bumblebee, Spike, Wheeljack. Soundwave sends Rumble and Ravage after the Autobots to try and protect Nergal, unaware of what his plans are. Rumble, when he gets to the core along with the Autobots, realizes Nergal is completely crazy. He's going to destroy the entire city, so he kind of teams up with the Autobots to try and stop Nergal by the end of the episode. But Nergal succeeds in blowing up the stockpile just as the Decepticons and Autobots are able to get out of the city and back to the surface, and the episode finishes off and you see what is above the surface of the ocean of Sub-Atlantica, like exploding and starting to sink into the water. So as I say, 80s cartoons did not shy away. There was no PC culture when it came to this sort of thing. You know, they did it tastefully, but they were not about to like step back from a great storyline. And this episode, so much better than I was expecting it to be. I thought, right, as I said earlier, it's been a long time since I watched this box set from start to finish, and the title alone, Atlantis Arise, I thought, right, this is going to be really cheesy, but very good episode, very good characters, entertaining from start to finish. This is a kind of like a no holds barred episode. There's no real lapse in action throughout this here. It's just, you know, from start to finish, it is boom, boom, boom. There's no slow parts in it. Keeps going, and very, very good.